PlayStation's working now. There we go. Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the channel. We're here commentating round 7 of the AVC. And it is a very close title fight between Titan Esports and ESPL. The gap is about 16, 17 points, I think it is. So, obviously, Titan wants to bring out all their stops today. And as far as I'm aware, they have brought their Vegas merchant, aka Frank Tank. So, let's hope they can win. That is the wrong effing button. Yeah, so I kind of all over the place today. I'm having to sort the lobby, literally sort everything. Wrong button, sort my stream out, and everything. Missing 2 drivers. I'm going to try and see if Tonton, because one of his drivers is missing. He's got 1 driver in, but the other one's missing. We're missing the other kick Sauber as well. We should have 16 drivers in. Hyperdrive should be in as well, but obviously today they could not field a team for today's race. I think they might be a little bit short, but I do not know. So I need to find out what is going on with... thing. I've let HR know one of their drivers is missing. So that is the wrong camera. So who are we gonna go on board with? I think CT is gonna be the first one to do a lap here. I think it's gonna be CT's first one to finish a lap. Oh, that is a big ride over that curb then. Surprised they didn't murder the bollard. Because, yeah, Aspect is out on the track. Frank's also just come out the track. So there we go. CT's cross line on the benchmark to beat is 131.3. Next across line will be his teammate Ted Head and does a 30.7. So it's a TDR 1-2 right now. That is until someone does a lap. I think Cam Dyson was on a lap. He's the next one to finish. Cam Dyson here, look, coming through the final sector, around the last corner, across the line. What's it going to be for him? It's a 30.8. Good enough for P2 right now. Next is Hugo, goes right behind him, a 10th off. Stingy Fishy just finished a lap. Oh, and look at this. Thomas is going to get a big suck from Frank. Oh, look at this suck. Brilliant from the Titan boys. And out the way it gets the Frank. Aspect coming through the last couple corners. Keeps it valid. And now where's he going to go? Up to the line. Currently benchmark to beat is a 30.7. Aspect across the line. Does a 30.1. Massive lap there from the Titan Esports driver. Courtesy of the little assist from Frank tank, as Vincent without a toe does also a 30.1. That is very, very interesting. He's mighty quick as Senti Fishy goes above his teammate and ahead of Cam Dyson. Next looks like it could be no, not Gladiator. It is not Puppy. Actually, no, it is Puppy. Actually, it is going to be Puppy next across the line. I think Aspect is going to give Frank the big old suck this time around. Alright, Puppy across the line does a 40.4 up to third. Next would be Gladiator across the line, goes just behind his teammate 2 times back. Lewis across the line does a 30.9. Next will be Frank, who's getting a big old suck from Aspect. And then Aspect out of the way. Let's see what Frank the tank can do. Frank the tank. Let's see if he beats his PB. Doubt it, but we'll see. Frank across the line goes P3 with a 30.3. Now we just wait for Marcus to come across the line as someone has joined the session. Don't know who that was. Marcus goes just behind the tank with a 40.3, and Baboon will be the next one to cross the line. I'm going to. I've got 6 notifications on Discord. Why have I got 6? Okay. No, I have no notifications. Okay, Tonton does know it's Fabi that's missing. Ah, there's Marcus's teammate just and Marcus's teammate is left. Has they left the session or something? Well, all the drivers are coming back into the pits and stuff. I'm going to just enjoy my my Sunday roast, which got interrupted because somebody needed me to fudging host. So I'm going to enjoy my food before it gets any colder. Looks like Frank's going to do it again. No, no. Aspect is screwed up somewhere. He's slowed down. Yep, Aspect has screwed up his lap. That does not help. Frank was ready to give him the big old suck, but he messed it up. Yeah. So pretty much everyone is out on another lap. I think Aspect might bail out. Will he? No, it looks like he's that looks like he's going again. He's gonna try again. Someone is not happy with their lap. Right. Kiki here. Kiki Martinez. Looking to get a first lap on the board for them. Go just behind Ted Head, who's coming to the pits with not happy with his lap. Same as Cam Dyson also into the pits. Vince K also into the pits, not happy with their lap. Somebody did go faster. I think it was... Oh, it was Senti Fishy. Splitting the Alpines, going P6. Right, let's ride on board with the tank. He's 3 tenths up on his previous best lap. Obviously not getting any DRS this time. Oh, take that nice and lovely. Oh, whoever that was on the exit of that chicane was on the way. Alright, Frank up to line. Doesn't actually improve in the end. Actually down. That small blunder in the final sector actually screwed him over. And Gladiator to the top of the time sheets. And Aspect again bailing out. And Marcus Aguero, first person in the 29s with a 29.8. ESPL is Starman here. This man pretty much does every race he possibly can for the team. And I'm not surprised. Freaking brilliant driver. So he's not on a lap. Not on a lap. Not on a lap. CT's not on a lap either. Yeah, so no one's on a lap. So I can go back to enjoying food. Like, until somebody goes on a lap, I can sit and enjoy my roast dinner. I don't want to get any more cold, so... runs for everybody. As we got Barborn here going for their last run. Obviously, oh, never mind. Big hit on the inside wall there, causing an entire wheel to come flying off. And out of this qualifying session, that Mercedes goes. Like, he is supposed to have a teammate in this race, but that teammate has not even joined the session. Has about 30 seconds realistically to get in, or that'll be a did not start for his other driver. As a CT on a lap, person validated, does not have enough time to get round again. And look at this queue coming out the last corner. Who's at the front of this queue? I think it's Ted Head. No, it's not. It was... Yes, oh, it's Kiki Martinez. First to start a lap. Right on board of them as they come into turn 4. Riding the curb. Ooh, very close to the wall there. Touching walls hit here at Vegas can be a detrimental because it can cost you a 10 for 2. Ooh, like that little tiny touch I'm pretty sure he just had there. That's going to cost him a 100 for 2. Yep, Ted, that it'll be CT getting out the way. Oh, I hear tiny lockups from them. They're currently 2.5 tenths up though, so with big improvements that will see them into P8. As I can see the Titan drivers right behind each other. I don't know who's ahead of who. We'll have a look in a short while. So one of them is clearly sacrificing their lap for the other. It's just who is doing that. As Senti Fishy, the latest person to crash, and Marcus also retiring as his teammate goes up to P5. So it is Frank ahead of Aspect. Frank currently on a 30.3. Crossline does a 30 dead. And Aspect does... Oh, it didn't even improve. Actually slowed down to give Frank a suck. So Frank into P2 for that. As it looks like Gladiator... Oh, God. They're all... Oh, what the hell's going on here? Puppy also now just crashing out. What is going on here I just witnessed? Well, Gladiator wasn't on an improvement lap. He was 7 tenths down. I think we can see why. His teammate was clearly not happy with what happened there. So they just kind of decided to try to commit a murder and did. So that's gonna be a report from that team. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. There we go then. All 14 drivers have done at their laps. Fastest is Marcus Aguero doing a 1:29.8. Now we got Frank doing a 30.3. Then Gladiator, Aspect, Vince K, Kiki, Pup, Cam, Lewis, Ted, Senti Fishy, Hugo, CT, and then Barborn at the back with no teammate. So we now move on to the main race as we now wait for drivers to put setups on and stuff. I should quickly give them a time when to ready up. So assist driver ready up at XX33. Now I'll do 32. So they can all ready up in 1 minute. So it can all ready up in a minute or two. I suggest you want to make any of those final adjustments to their setups or anything before we get going in this race. And while I wait for them to finish and ready up, I am going to enjoy my food. I said, these drivers should have ready up by now. It is 32. Thank you. Oh, there we go. Finally, we can get going in this race. 5 laps are on. Lights on, away we go. Then for 25 laps around this magnificent Vegas circuit, as Aspect already making some moves, already from P5 up to P3 already. And just behind Frank Tank, who is behind Marcus. This is a good start from Titan Esports, as Pup has got past Vince K to get into P5. Aspect and Frank doing the old switcheroo. So Aspect ahead of Frank, and they're all jostling for position. As we got Kiki and Cam Dyson here fighting over P7. And a bit tired looking, and into the wall go both drivers. That is not what you want to see. So yellow flags are flying, but both drivers are still going. Wing damage, I believe, for only Kiki, surprisingly, but that is not what you want to see. The dreaded tire hooking strikes again, as Vincent is going to try and get past the Pup. The Pup is trying to hang it in there on this long straight, the longest straight of this track. Obviously, no DRS yet, and now coming up to the final chicane. Who's going to edge ahead? It will be Vince who gets the job done past the Pup. And now we'll look to try and get past a Gladiator next on his list. And he's already right up the gearbox of the Gladiator. As look at this, Aspect already making a move on Marcus for P1. We don't have DRS enabled yet, lads, and Aspect's already gone for it. As Vince is going to do the same thing, but he's going to be in a sandwich here between the two Alpines. But Gladiator stays ahead of Vince. It looks like Pup might try and get him back. Side by side, the drivers are coming towards turn 4. Pup has the inside line as we come into the braking zone, and will get ahead, showing Vince the door. And it looks like Ted Head was fighting with Lewis and is lost out there. Whoa! A bit of a slide there. Looked like it then from the back end of Ted, as Baboon and Hugo are fighting over P11 just outside the points, as Kiki is coming into the pits to change that front wing. As I will now put some tyres on the board for you guys. So we've got Marcus started on the hards. That is why Aspect was able to go past him. So him, Senti, Hugo, Barborn and Cam all on the hards, where everybody else is on the medium tyres. So, and it's like, there's all your moves. Aspect is getting 3 places already, so he started P4, sorry. And get off my screen. No, Stop it. There we go. So Aspect leads the way here on lap number 2. Now 3. And it's just ahead of Marcus, then Frank in P3, then Gladiator, Pup, Vince, Lewis, Ted, Senti, and then CT rounding out the top 10. Hugo has unfortunately dropped out of DRS of CT. Does have Barborn and Cam Dyson ahead. As it looks, the Fishy and Ted fighting. Ted into the wall. I think that's also wing damage on that V-carb as well. So that is not going to help Ted at all. I'm just waiting for a decent camera angle to show me the wing damage. Oh, that's major wing damage. Oh, that's a pit stop. That is going to be a forced pit stop for Ted Head there. That is not good. I think it was the battle from the fish. So Ted is going to really struggle with no wing. So we're just going to go... Alright. Looks like Aspect is trying to lose Marcus, but Marcus is clearly able to keep up with the the Aston Martin. There we go, got it right in the end. Now so Frank, they're all just sitting in one long train. No one's trying to take advantage of each other. But CT's also dropped off a little bit from the back of Senti Fish. As yep, there it is. Ted Head into the pits to replace that front wing damage. And the rest of the field is just behaving, I guess. Just waiting. Will these Gladiator looking for a Gladiator looked for a move there on the Frank, but did not quite get it. Kiki actually comes out ahead of Ted Head, who's just come out of the pits after replacing their front wing. Aspect really wants to try and make a gap with Marcus to try and get ahead of him like a bit more, because you want to drop him so you can allow Frank to get past, and then if you can gap the Red Bull then I can start fighting with the rest of the pack. As we got yellow flags as Barborn looks like he's had a little bit of a spin. He does look like he has still all of his front wing. Never mind, he's missing the end plate. But having a spin right there is not very helpful. But Aspect still leading this race ahead of Marcus and Frank. Like I say, Titan Esports looking very good right here with 1 and 3 at the minute. Double put him on the cards, but obviously this is early doors. We're only on lap 5 of 25, so anything can happen. Oh, a little wobble there from, I believe that was Puppy was having a wobble there, as Ted Head and Kiki are fighting over 13th. Try to gain back as Gladiators I believe has let the Pup through, so Pup into P4. We'll have a look. Have a little look at attacking the Frank, as a couple people just whacked the wall there, as just saw. Lewis one of them, and I think Gladiator was the other one who whacked the wall there a little bit too. But eyes will be on the puppy to try and see if he can get past Mr. Frank the Tank. As looking to, but Frank will have DRS assist from Marcus. Marcos. God damn it! I keep calling him Marcus, but it's not. It's not Marcos. It's Marcos. God damn it! Oh, but there's a big gap there between Frank and Pup. So Pup won't have a thing, as it looks like Vince is gonna have a look at the Gladiator. Vince on the outside, but then gets ahead, more power ahead of the Gladiator. It looks like Hugo has got past CT for P9. Big move there for the McLaren driver. I forgot which team this is. God dang it. I forgot which team's in the McLaren. Oh well. So, still have the top 8 are still in one long DRS train. The question is, when will these mediums runners pit? Oh, as Aspect has dropped back quite a bit. Why? He's dropped all the way back to P5. He's going to lose another one here. And what's happened to Aspect here? He's just lost 5 places in the space of one corner. So, has he made a small mistake or something? Because now he's going to try and make his way through, as it looks like Sentifish and Luis here are going to try. Well, did have the look of a little fight, but luckily for Aspect, he doesn't have any wing damage, so I guess it must have been just a little bit of a driver error there. So Marcos now leads this race again with a Frank Town right up his gearbox. Frank will probably look to get ahead here with the DRS assist. As Marcus, I wouldn't have thought would fight very much here, but he is burning that battery. He is burning that battery to stay ahead. As Aspect is looking to try and get past the Gladiator. He's going to try it on the brakes, down the inside into the chicane. No space left at all. No, neither driver leaving each other space there. A lot of contact made. They lost DRS to the front runners, and Luis and Sentifish are looking to all charge through. As perfect POV there from the Gladiator. Oh, an Aspect just what the heck? What the heck happened there? Aspect just turned freaking left and just murdered himself and Luis. What the heck? Full safety car deployed, and you would think that with that, I think that's a serious penalty coming to serious pen possibly going away of Aspect there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. Wonder what happened there. Oh. Well, everybody into the pit. Soft tires for Marcos. Interesting. Sentifish stayed out. Interesting. Well, if you're on the mediums, 3 pit stops. As I'm going to have a look on Discord what actually happened between Aspect and Lewis, because on the stream I did not see any contact between the 2 drivers. It just looked like Aspect turned into Lewis, and just yeah. So I'll be back one sec. Okay, now I can see why Marcus pitted again. I was wondering why Marcus pitting twice. So he doesn't have to pit again. So that is actually good idea there from Marcus. Went onto the soft tires, came back in, went on to a new set of hards. So he did take the harder allocation. So now we are just waiting for Kiki Martinez to catch up and Barbon. Obviously we lost Aspect and Lewis. I think what happened between the two drivers, I said on Discord, just because there were like multiple wides, so like because all the contact Gladiator and Aspect were having, it allowed the Fish and Lewis to catch up, and then just Aspect just clearly not aware of his surroundings too much and just turns across the Kicksauber and inadvertently murders the pair of them. Like, very unfortunate incident, but unfortunately that is it. And now it's up to the Fish when we go, and the Fish has gone, and it's just, what is that defense there? Obviously the Fish is on whole 7th lap, all the tires, so Frank will look to try and get past the Fish as fast as possible, gets a better exit out of that corner, and the Frank is side by side with the Fish, and ahead of the Fish he goes, as Pup is going to try and go down the inside of the Fish as well. Contact made, more contact. Pup later on the brakes gets ahead of the Fish. So Frank into the lead of this race ahead of Pup, who is then ahead of the Fish. He's going to lose another place to Vince K in a minute, and CT as well, but CT is on the inside of Vince K, as Cam Dyson has gone backwards again. Vince K just hitting the back there of the Fish. We're going to ride on board here with CT to watch, to see both him and Vince here go ahead of the Fish. But all three of them burning battery, but obviously Vince, fresher tyres than the Fish, gets ahead, but CT will not. So the Fish clearly struggling with those old worn hard tyres. Frank into the lead of this race, and looks to be in control of it. DRS re-enabled. So I'm going to go Cam Dyson getting 10 for speed in the pits and retires from the race. Understandable, he's had a dreadful day. His teammate though is currently in P3, but it does suck though to lose one of your drivers. As Marcus, we're going to keep an eye on Marcus because he'll be looked to try and make some moves as he's down in P7, and will want to try and get ahead. So he's currently behind the Gladiator, who's behind a Fish, who seems to not be struggling too hard though. So the Fish is just sticking to a one-stop. I think if they went the hard allocation just like Marcus, I think they would have done what Marcus did, because this safety car did throw a spanner in the works for those hard runners. But thankfully for Marcus, he had a set of soft tyres he wanted to waste. And it's better wasting a set of softs than the thing, but he seems to have not be anywhere near, as the Pup is getting past the Frank. So Pup into the lead of this race ahead of the Tank. For a second I thought Frank had that wing damage, but it doesn't. So this is, ideally this is where Frank wants to be. Oh, I thought, so the Fish has got, the Gladiator's got past the Fish. Now it'll be Marcos' turn to get past the Fish. Oh, but actually gets a bit skew-whiffed there, and Hugo hits the back of Marcus there. Marcos not nowhere near the Fish. Obviously right now ESPL are down in 7th and 9th. As I think one of them, I think he was going to look to go on it. Oh, bit of a send there from Hugo, trying to get past the other Red Bull, but now is going to be under pressure from the other one behind him. As Kiki gets on the power earlier, contact made there. Kiki burning a battery to try and get around Hugo. Does have the inside line though for the next corner. Still side by side these two guys are, as Hugo goes into the wall and somehow just barely keeps the place, and now both of them have lost DRS to the guys ahead of him. And now Ted Head coming through the pair of them and goes ahead of the pair of them. Ted Head with a double overtake as Marcos ahead gets ahead of the fish. The McLaren and Red Bull still at it, but there we go. Kiki finally gets ahead of Hugo after half a lap of battling, as Marcos now looks to try and catch on to Gladiator, who seems to have dropped out of DRS of CT ahead. I think these guys are FPR. I think that's what this team is. He's just in DRS range of CT, who was then just behind Vince, the only one left of, what is it, NX, no, it's NXR, is it, or something? I think so, no, something like that. And Frank, the only solo racer left for Titan Esports, looking for a decent set of points here. Obviously Marcus in 6th and Kiki in 9th gives ESPL 10. Frank currently in 2nd with 18 points. So they will close the gap coming into the final race of the season. But obviously Frank would want to try and get the race win. But I think right now Frank is just biding his time. Vince getting a little impatient as looks like Marcus trying to get ahead of Gladiator and doesn't, as Ted Head and the rest of them behind him are fighting all like crazy. Ted Head, the latest person to get past the fish, is on 12-lap old hard tyres. It'll only be a matter of time before the fish is into the pits to change those tyres, as Frank is all over the back of the pup. The puppy was quite ahead of these guys, but it's not anymore. As Frank is closing, getting very close to the back of the pup. But right now, this is where he wants to be. He wants to be in P2 if he wants to win this race. He doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks, as I saw something there. As Gladiator was behind Marcos, but gets. I think he's just giving the place back to Marcos because he illegal overtake, because I think he went off the road, either missed braking or something. Oh, he seems to be struggling a little bit there as Gladiator. But anyway, he will have another opportunity. He will have an opportunity here to get past the Marcos. Like he's all over the back of him. DRS assist and the battery usage side by side. They both are coming towards the final chicane, and we'll get ahead. Oh, what have I just witnessed there? Some fishy business back here, as it looks like Hugo's got past Kiki Martinez, and the Senti Fish is coming into the pits for their one and only pit stop. So Pup still leads the way ahead of the Frank. Never mind. Frank now leads the way ahead of the Pup. And Vince is right behind the pair of them. CT's just chilling here in P4. Gladiator is ahead of Marcus with Ted Head right behind. And just having that. Just having a chill here for a minute. So Gladiator, the only person to pick up 3 seconds for track limits. And that's a terrible time for a yawn. I do apologise. So, will the Gladiator get double overtaken here by Marcus and Ted? I don't think Ted heads close enough to really amount something, but Marcus is gaining. DRS wasn't even active yet, and he's pretty much already ahead, as Frank has been overtaken by the puppy ahead, as Marcus is back into P5 ahead of the Gladiator. Right, these three have actually pulled away from the CT as Vince goes for a very opportunistic move at turn 1 there. Very opportunistic move there from Vince, trying to get ahead of Frank Tank. This has actually allowed CT to get back in DRS and has allowed Marcos in the DRS as well. As Gladiator's just on the edge of DRS. He needs to just push a little more. He's barely within inside it. Oh, he's definitely inside it now. But Ted had someone made a mistake because he's just nowhere near. What's happened here? Because Kiki's miles out of Hugo. And they were right behind each other before, and there's not anymore, they're not. As Ascenti Fish has just picked up 3 seconds for track limit violations. That is a oh shit, not good moment. Oh, I think Marcus just broke. Oh my god, he did break the DRS. As Frank goes ahead of the puppy. As it looks like here, Marcus might try to go ahead of CT and does not. Gladiator, unfortunately, does not have DRS to the front 5. As it looks like Marcus is getting a bit impatient and has gone ahead of CT and into P4. Important move there for Marcus. But CT is fighting back here though on the ESPL driver. Side by side they are as they come through turn 2 and turn 3. Coming on to the next DRS straight. Still side by side these two drivers are, but looks like Marcos is just ahead. CT though pulling out from the slipstream. Never mind. Having to settle behind Marcus, but right up his gearbox though. We're on lap 17 here of 25. 9 laps to go. There we go, got there eventually because they've done 16 laps. So Marcus making a very important move, getting past CT into P4. Next hit for him, driver for him will be Vince K. As Puppy and Frank are just a bit up the road from Vince. Will Pup burn a battery and DRS? Yes, he will. And we'll get past Frank Tank. As Marcus didn't even try to amount anything on Vince K here. Surprisingly, he doesn't have wing damage from that. Oh, bit of a wobble there from Marcos. Coming out of corner. And Gladiator's actually caught back into this train. So we've got a 6-man train now. We have a six-man train now. But Marcos has better tyres by 1 lap. As Frank needs to realistically stop fighting with the puppy. Somehow they've got broken almost 8 tenths to Vince. So either Vince is having an issue or just Puppy and Frank are just so much faster than Vince. As that's a big 3 seconds for Kiki. They're in P8, but Hugo is under 3 seconds behind them. And they're almost caught a Ted head. Right, Frank within 3/10 here of Puppy. Again, only still. Oh, hello. Top 4 broken away from CT, who could be now under pressure from the Gladiator. So CT may have made a mistake as there goes Frank into the lead of this race. Gladiator get in past CT. And will they get back into the top 4's DRS? The answer is no, they will not. So what was the top 6 is now the top 4. With Frank in the lead, Puppy second, Vince third, and then Marcos in fourth. As Marcos looks to try and pressurize Vince into a mistake. But I don't think that is going to happen. As Frank pulling towards the inside to break the toe. But Puppy, ooh, Marcos I thought he was gonna try and make the move there on Vince, but chose not to. Vince holding on to what is P3 at the minute. We've got 7 laps to go in this race. Marcos getting a little bit impatient, sat behind Vince here. Oh, bit of a slide there from Puppy in second. So he's dropped a little bit back off Frank here. Obviously Frank will looking to try and break away by the look of it, but it's not gonna do so. 6/10 is the gap. So the Puppy's got a lot more work to do to try and gain on Frank here, but obviously we'll have DRS assist. We're gonna ride on board here with Marcos as he's only just over 4/10 back from Vince, but obviously Vince will get DRS from Puppy ahead, who's got ahead of Frank Tag, but Marcos just not quite close enough to mount anything. As we're Kiki and Ted Head fighting over what is P7. Obviously Kiki will lose that straight back to Ted Head at the end of the race if they don't gap Ted Head by 3 seconds. Oh, Marcus going to try to look for something at turn 1 here on the inside of Vince. Not quite there, but still looking for it. Oh, contact made between Vince and Marcus. And then both somewhat into the wall, but they're still within a DRS of the top 2. But Marcus here again, all impatient now as Vince again defending the inside line. So Marcus is having to settle for P4 again. But Marcus getting a little bit impatient on Vince there is not helping his cause. As Frank looking to try and chase the pup. I'll say Marcus and Vince here. Marcus literally looking for a way past Vince K here, but he's just not finding the room or the space. As CT and Gladiators are fighting, as it looks like a few people in the wall further back. As it looks like Ted Head is missing. Oh, Gladiator's is missing a lot of his front wing. As Puppy's ahead, and Frank's ahead of Puppy. And I think CT's not missing any of his wing, or is he just the end plate? But Gladiator's is missing, taking a lot of damage, so he'll have to pit. As Kiki and Ted Head are fighting away. But looks like Gladiator's staying out though with that major front wing damage, so he's going to hold up these guys. As Marcus has made a mistake somewhere, he's also got wing damage as well now. Marcus with a massive mistake has actually dropped off the back of Vince K here, so that wing damage is going to hurt Marcus quite a bit. Oh, Vince having a bit of a wobble there coming out of turn 4. As Kiki is ahead of the Gladiator. Never mind, the Gladiator is still there. Actually putting Kiki in the wall. But Gladiator is going to try and switch to the inside. Gets back ahead of Kiki. And stays ahead in P6. But Marcos with the wing damage is trying to catch back up to the front 3. Oh, and then just picks up 3 seconds to boot. So that is not going to help Marcus or ESPL in this race with the championship fight between them and Titan Esports. With Frank currently in the lead, probably won't be in the lead for much longer because Poppy will go back flying past the tank. Not on this occasion. Interesting. But yeah, Marcus is miles back now from the front three, so it's now a 3-horse race between Frank, Poppy, and Vince, as Kiki and Ted Head are fighting again. Oh, and in the wall, both of them go. Major damage to both of them, and now Kiki is just trying to. I don't know what Kiki was trying to do there, but they've just lost their entire front wing with the fight with Ted Head, so that's major damage to them. I don't know why they did not pit. They stayed out with the no wing. Also, Hugo has damage as well, apparently. Hugo's gone past, so that is not going to be helpful for them. With Kiki now dropping pretty much down to last place, that just does not help them at all. Marcus is struggling with his wing damage. He's dropped back from the front three. So it's Frank in the lead with Poppy, then Vince. And then you got Ted Head with the fish here for P7. Ted does have a little bit of damage, but not as much as the Gladiator, who seems to be just not really struggling. I think Ted Head's missing both end plates, by the way. I think he's missing both end plates. Yes, he is. He's missing both end plates. That is a rare commodity. Seeing both end plates missing off that car. Oh, as Gladiator's now lost the rest of his front wing. And so he's just going to get double overtaken here by Ted Head and the fish. Fish into P6. Now, but might get double overtaken here. This is some... Oh, this is going to be something... Oh! More contact there with Gladiator into the fish. And then fish into Ted Head. As I think Gladiator's just gone straight on. Yes, he has. So, a very action-packed race. People just cannot keep their noses clean this week further at the back. Frank has gapped Poppy. What the heck? I think Frank got bored. Yeah, I think Frank has gapped Poppy now. So, Frank 1 full second ahead of the Pop. So, Frank is looking to get on it. Never mind. Pop somehow back in DRS. Come on, Frank. Get him out of it. Get him out. Get him out. Come on, Frank. Come on. If you get the Puppy out of DRS, that's it. Because Vince Cage dropped out of DRS of the top two. So now it's a 2-horse race between Frank and Pup. But if Frank can break DRS to the Pup, because the next DRS line is coming up, and it looks like Frank has broken DRS to the Pup. I think Vince might have got DRS to the Pup. Not until yes, he has. So this is now become a race now for second, as Frank in the lead here ahead of Puppy and Vince. So Puppy will be under pressure from Vincent here. Oh, why did I say Vincent? It's just Vince K. What the heck? I'm adding things. So Frank in the lead by 2 whole seconds. He's just fully gapped Puppy now. He's just like, I'm had enough of this. I'm out. See you later, lads. So now it's just a 2-horse race here for second place, because Frank has checked out. He's just massively checked out compared to these two. So it's going to be Puppy between Puppy and Vince, who gets P2. And CT needs to try and get under that 3 seconds if he wants any chance of 4th place ahead of Marcus. Marcus does have that wing damage though still. I'm not sure how much is affecting him though. Because as I said, there goes Frank, he's just fully checked out. Like, Vince is just not able to get anywhere close as Gladiator is in to the pits. Probably to repair their wing damage, so that probably try and take away the fastest lap point from Kiki. So he'll do an out lap, then a fastest lap. Kiki's about to come across the line now. Does not get fastest lap. Interesting. What is the fastest? Oh, it already has the fastest lap. Never mind. 33.213 currently right now is the fastest lap by Kiki. As it looks like Vince has one final lap to try. So Vince here will have one final chance to get ahead of the puppy, who was just, I say, well and truly just checked out from from Frank. Like Frank is just like, he's like, you're 3 seconds ahead. Frank, if I knew you had this much pace, I would have like, bruh, why don't you gap him sooner? Like, what the hell, Frank? Freaking Frank Tank Vegas merchant at its finest. But to be fair, I think Puppy's more focused on trying to keep that second place ahead of Vince here. CT again did lose 3 seconds to Marcus, but has got back in the 3 seconds. But the question is, will he still be in that 3 seconds by the end of this race? As we're more interested right now of who is going to get second place here. Will it be Puppy or will it be Vince? Because Frank is just gone. Frank is like 4 seconds. He's gained one. He's taken like one more full second ahead of them. Like, what the hell? And there goes Kiki getting fastest lap of the race at 1:31.568. As Gladiator will now try to do with that on the last lap. So last chance here then for Vince to try and get past the Puppy as they come into the final chicane here. So close to call between the two of them, but it looks like Puppy just gets ahead. He's got one last chance to burn all that battery to the line. Frank takes the win for Tiny Sports. Who's going to claim a second? It will just be the Puppy ahead of Vince. Marcus gets P4. Now the question is, will CT get fourth? No. Next will be the Fish to come across the line. He's got no one around him. And even with the 3 second penalty, will think. But who's going to finish P7? Will it be Ted Head or will it be Hugo? As come across the line, it will just be Hugo ahead of Ted. Bob, here goes Bobborn. He's been non-existent all race, but gets 2 points out of it. And now will Gladiator get 2 points or just a single point? Will he get fastest lap on Kiki? The question we'll find out in a few short seconds of where will Gladiator do? Will it be two? Like I said, will it be 2 points or will it be one? Around the last corner, does he take it away? No is the answer. How much? 8/10 off. And I would just wait for Kiki to cross the line. Keeps the fastest lap, but unfortunately, because they're outside the top 10, they do not get that point. So, very interesting race today then. Frank in the end just decides to show off. So here we go then. We'll go through the full classification then here. Frank Tank wins here in Vegas ahead of Puppy, who managed to just keep ahead of Vince at the line. Marcus got fourth in the end, just ahead of CT in P5. Senti Fishy in P6 with his teammate Hugo just behind. Ted Head makes it a double points finish for TDR in P8. And Barborn, the only driver for his team, gets into the points with P9. Gladiator takes the final point in this race. And then the last of the finishers, Kiki Martinez, does take the fastest lap points, but we don't know if they'll get any points at the end. It depends what the stewards say after the race. And then obviously the only non-finishers, Cam Dyson, Aspect, and Luis, the only people not to finish in this race. So that has been a very, very interesting Vegas GP, to say the least. So obviously we will see you next week. Just want to double check what the track is next week. I think it is Brazil. But yeah, this is a race to forget for some people. As I just go check the calendar, And yes, it is. Next week we will see you next week back, same time as we started today at 6 o'clock UK time, and we will see you at the lovely, the sunny Brazilian track of Interlagos next week. Sao Paulo. Ooh, lovely track. Always love it when we end there. But anyway, that is it from me, Piney Penguin, and hopefully we'll see you next week for the finale. Cheerio.